Hi guys, this is your girl Wakeji Kamore and welcome to Reflections by Wakeji Kamore. Hope that you guys are doing well. Happy Tuesday, happy new day. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on the time that you're getting to listen to this. I really do hope that you have, taken your time to read the chapter that you are about to read, which is Psalms chapter 61. Please pause, read the chapter for yourself, understand what's happening in the chapter. Then you can come and engage with me as I read the chapter, as I give you a summary, and as I give you the lessons that I have picked up from this chapter. This chapter is called Lead Me to the Rock. This is not, it's not a new chapter that you guys, I'm sure you probably heard some of the words in this chapter in a song. So I'm going to be reading it from the English Standard Version. Then I'm going to give you the summary and the lessons that I have picked up from this chapter. This is what it says. It's titled, Lead Me to the Rock. Psalms chapter 61. It's written to the choir master. It was supposed to be played with stringed instruments, and it's a psalm of David. He says, Hear my cry, O God. Listen to my prayer. From the ends of the earth I call to you. When my heart is faint, lead me to the rock that is higher than I. For you have been my refuge, a strong tower against the enemy. Let me dwell in your tent forever. Let me take refuge under the shelter of your wings. For you, O God, have heard my vows. You have given me the heritage of those who fear your name. Prolong the life of the king. May his years endure to all generations. May he be enthroned forever before God. Appoint steadfast love and faithfulness to watch over him. So will I ever sing praises to your name as I perform my vows day after day. Wow. Psalms chapter 61 is a short psalm, as we've seen, in which David talks about God's help in times of weakness. He prayed, Lead me to the rock that is higher than I, for you are my refuge and a strong tower against the enemy. David also prayed that his reign and his throne would endure all generations, a prayer that was answered when Jesus was crowned the eternal king. And so he wrote, Hear my cry, O God, and listen to my prayers. From the ends of the world, I call to you when my heart is faint. Lead me to the rock that is higher than I. This figurative rock was a place of sure footing and security. It was above David, not a place that he could reach without God leading him there. David wanted to dwell in God's tent forever and find safety in the shelter of God's wing. This is a very humble statement, considering that David was king. He was almost like at the sure footing. Alikuwa a king, and he had a palace of his own. He knew God's tent was a more secure place than the king's palace. Psalm 61 teaches that God is our refuge and, of course, strong tower and a place of safety when our hearts are overwhelmed. It emphasizes the importance of seeking God in prayer, even in times of great distress, and trusting in his faithfulness and promises. The psalm also highlights the need to remember God's past faithfulness, and persevere into our faith, and even when faced with challenges. But for me, let me tell you guys, the part that captured me is that truly God is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that we ask or think. We see David asking for God to prolong his days on the throne. All David hoped for was that his reign and the reign of his descendants would endure all generations. All he wanted is that his son would be king, his grandchild would be king, his great-grandchild would be king. Like, that is all he wanted. He was hoping that that his kingdom would just be like in his family and for his descendants. But even in saying that, it seemed a little bit too much. This looks like, it was almost like a little bit too much to ask of God, that all the other kings that are going to be here, that they will come from my family. That seems so far-fetched. You guys, we went through the book of 1 Kings and 2 Kings, and we saw how kings were assassinating each other. Oh, Sri, we are overthrown. This one has been, that was such a far-fetched prayer for David to make. It was almost unattainable. It was almost unreachable. But this prayer would be answered, and if in an even more exceedingly, more abundantly way than David could think or ask. that later a descendant of David, Jesus Christ, would be crowned as an eternal king. I don't even think David thought that. Like, maybe 5 generations from him, like, it sounds like such a big thing to ask for, yet God answered it, and answered it in even grander way than David asked for it. And I think that for me was just like an encouraging thing to tell me that God surely is in the business of doing exceedingly abundantly above all that I can even think, above all that I can even imagine. I cannot even imagine it, how God is going to do it. And so be encouraged as well, that even when you're making prayers, even those ones that feel like they're so grand, they're so far-fetched, they're just like, I have asked for big things. Imagine the Lord is able to do even grander. He's able to do even more exceedingly. He's able to do even more abundantly, more than you're asking, more than you're thinking, more than you're praying for, more than you're even... God is able to do way more than what you're asking for. Let that encourage you today. See you tomorrow.